Hi, welcome to our first Basics of Music Theory lesson. Today we're going to talk about tempo. Tempo is an Italian word, it means time, and it's how you tell how quickly a piece of music is supposed to move. Now, you generally refer to the tempo as being in beats per minute. So if you had a tempo that was 60 beats per minute, you would have a beat every second because you would have 60 beats over the course of 1 minute. Now, beats per minute can vary greatly. You can have something that says 60 beats per minute, it can say 200 beats per minute. It's movable. One thing I'll also say about practicing something that tells you how fast it's supposed to be, you want to start way slower than what the tempo is so that you can practice playing the piece through right and having kind of a large-scale view of what it should sound like when played right, just slower, and then you slowly bring up the tempo until you're playing it at full speed. This is generally, you might want to occasionally stop and work on a section, but you don't want to have it so that you get this section perfect, then this section perfect, then this section perfect, because then what you have to learn after that is how to unite all of those sections, when it's much easier just to be able to play it all the way through and slowly play it faster. If the sectional thing works for you, that's fine. The most important thing for playing music is that you can play it, but you might want to reconsider how you're practicing because you can probably be doing it more efficiently. A good tool for keeping you steady in tempo is a metronome. I have a little digital metronome. You hit play and it makes an annoying beeping sound that drives you crazy. The steadily increasing beeping sound of bringing something to tempo, I think that's why most musicians are totally insane. They also, when you see it get written out as, however many beats per minute, you'll generally see note equals and number. It won't actually say beats per minute, and it'll be, there's this many notes over the course of a minute. So if it's quarter note equals 120, that means that there's 120 evenly spaced quarter notes over the course of a minute. Now, you might not play a quarter note like that because that would be very boring music, but that's just how you tell the rate of speed to play at. Occasionally, especially in older music, you won't have a written out tempo in beats per minute. It'll be some kind of qualitative term like largo or moderato or prestissimo. Most of them are Italian. You get the occasional German or French term as well. Very rarely is it in English. Basically, all of those words have kind of associated tempo ranges. For example, my metronome's handy little guide tells me that andante, not just a way to eat pasta, is 76 to 108 beats per minute. Now, the terms all tell you really just how it should ultimately sound. Like, it might mean lightly. Sometimes it does mean slowly or quickly, but oftentimes it'll be like lightly or some term like that that will just indicate a speed, but also a mood to bring the piece. And there are way more terms I could ever list, but you can look them up online. They're pretty easy to find these translations because so many musicians have had to look up what does prestissimo mean anyway. And that'll just give you an idea of how to play, and you can also find associated tempo ranges, and that'll tell you the rough area of where you're trying to get to, but ultimately, even when you're trying to bring something up to tempo, you want it to sound right. You don't want to sound like a robot. So if you're not playing, if it says like 156 beats per minute and you're not playing exactly 156 beats per minute, that's fine. If it sounds right, it is right. And that's it. Anyway, that's all I have to say about tempo. Hope you're having a wonderful day and hope you come back here soon. Bye-bye.